Hello everyone and welcome to this month's 10-minute training video. Today we're going to do something fun. We're going to go over Teams Voice. Now, Teams Voice is kind of cool. You can make and receive phone calls right from your Teams client. You will only see this if you actually have a license for it. So if you go in here and you do not see the same screen, it means you do not have the license required to make the Teams call. But those of you who do, we're going to dig into it and let's see what it can do. Okay, first, the way that you're going to get it is obviously you're going to be in Teams and you're going to click on this button right here, the one that says calls, right? Once you're on calls, now you're in the phone screen for Teams. The way that you can know is if you have this number pad up here is kind of a dead giveaway, right? So that means that you're in the Teams call and you have the appropriate license that you need to make and receive calls through Teams. All right, so one of the things is that everybody in the system gets a unique phone number. Now, the phone number that I have, that number is going to show up underneath the keypad. And that's going to be the unique number for that user. Now, your company may or may not want you to use that phone number depending on the company policy. They may want you to use a general number to make sure the calls go into a queue and come out. Also, when dialing out, it is an option to have it set so that there's only one primary number that shows up and your individual number does not show up. Again, that's going to be a company-wide discussion and a company-wide setting. Okay, so now let's go into actually to make a call. So make a call up here is going to be in this where it says type name or phone number. So you can do a couple different ways. One, you can literally just type in a phone number like this. You can obviously hit the keypads right here. Or the other thing that you can do is copy and paste a phone number right in there like you would copy and paste it from anywhere else. So let's say you're browsing the web, you're at a site, you want to copy that phone number and just paste it right in. So all of those options work within here. It's just a numeric field that you can type anything in. Now, let's say you're in a call, right? So first off, so when you want to make the call, you go in, hit the call button, come up, the screen comes up, it rings, and then you're in the call. Now let's see what it looks like when we actually receive a call. So when we receive a call, it's pretty straightforward. It's a lot like when you receive a message from Teams itself. So as you can see, it's going to pop up asking you, do you want to take this call? You can either decline it or take it like you normally would. So here we are taking the call. And now we're in the actual phone call itself. It looks like a regular Teams screen. You can tell right here that it looks like a Teams screen, but it's not. It's actually a phone call. What are some of the things that we have in here? So one of the things that we have is this keypad. So let's say you're making a call and you get into an automated tenant where it hits 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where this number pad comes in, right? So you're on a calling in Chase and they want you to enter your credit card. That's what you put in. This is the people button. Now this one's really cool. This is how you're going to do a conference call. You can actually add people into the conference call as simple as this. It could be an outside phone number or it could be somebody inside your organization. If it's somebody inside your organization, you just type in their name and it just comes right up. If it's outside the organization, then you can type in their phone number and they'll be going in and you're going to be doing a conference call at that point. It's that simple to do it. Let's go into a couple other ones. You can see the mic button can be muted, unmuted. Obviously you can see I have it muted here for the purposes of this demo. Now let's go into the more actions here. So while we're in the call, we have a couple different things that we can do in here. We can put the call on hold. So that does exactly what you think it does. It puts the call on hold. Now you can resume it. So the person on the other end, here's hold music. Now you can resume it. All right. Next thing that we can do, we can transfer the call. So you can transfer the call to somebody inside your organization or outside your organization, right? So you can type in either a phone number or an internal number. All right. Next you can consult transfer. That's basically you kind of make the announcement before you come in, going through. The last one I want to show you is one that probably is going to be pretty heavily used, and this is probably the only tricky part, I would say, of Teams, is parking a call. So let's go through and park this call and see what happens. When we park the call, there's one very important thing that happens. Very important. This right here. So on this screen, this code 11 It's really important that you know what that code is, because when you close this out, let's say you then make a call to somebody else in your company and you're like, hey, listen, I have a call on park. You're going to pick up this parked call and you're going to tell them, hey, it's on park 11. That number changes, 11, 12, 13. It's incremental, right? So you need to call them and tell them what that park number is. Once they have that park number, they can pick it up. Now, if you forget, luckily, they have the code right here and you can copy the code. So you go into your history, and we're going to get into that one in a second. So you pick it up. So somebody on the other end picks it up. They type in code number 11. They pick it up. Now the code is back. They now have the code, or you have the call, or whoever you want to pick it up now has that call. Okay. So that's the basics of using the actual dialing. Let's go into a little bit more of the slightly advanced features, if you will. So down below, you can forward your calls to somebody else. You can forward to a voicemail. You can turn them off up there. Over here, we have our history. Okay, so you can see these are all the calls coming and going that have gone in. You can see missed calls, incoming calls, go through. But now you can also see the voicemail box. The voicemail is a really cool feature. So you can see here's your voicemails. It also shows you the text, the voice to text of those voicemails. These voicemails are also going to show up in your inbox in Outlook as well. So you're going to get this a couple different ways when you get these voicemail messages. But you can basically listen to them, do a bunch of things. You can call them back, you can mark them as read, delete them, add them to contact, whatever it may be. And you can also add them to the speed dial. So let's talk about speed dial for a second. Okay, so when we go to speed dial, this section over here is your speed dial section. You can add and remove contacts into your speed dial section. So obviously, as you can imagine, a speed dial is who do you call, who do you talk to on a regular basis. You can have them up on the screen and click them right away. All right, last thing I want to talk about in the more advanced section. Now here, the three dots next to your username, there's a couple things in here I want to go into. So we're going to go into settings. First, we're going to talk about general, then we're going to go to delegation. So basically, you can have somebody else in your organization that can take and receive calls on your behalf if you'd like. So you can add a delegate in here to take and receive calls on your behalf. This is the calls section right here. So here's where some of the calls go in. So if you want to forward all your calls, let's say you're on vacation or whatever, and you want to forward them somewhere else, the voicemail, a new contact number, you can do that here. You can decide what happens if the call is unanswered. Does it go to voicemail? Does it go to somebody else? Does it forward it over to somebody else? Does it go into a call group? You basically have a bunch of different options in there. You can configure your voicemail in here. What do you want it to do? You can record a greeting. You can change it. You can do an out-of-office greeting. So you can do some options. You can have different ringtones for what that you can play around with, and then a call queue. These are the call queues that you're assigned to. You can turn off whether you want to receive calls or not. It might be a company policy that prevents you from removing yourself from those call queues, more to protect yourself from making a difference. Really, those are the basics of Teams Phone. There's obviously a couple more things that you can do, and things will enhance as you go along with the system. So Microsoft is constantly changing and adding things to it. So as they do, you will see more features come on. But these are the basic features of how to do the basic usage of it. Hope this was very useful. Drop us a line, let us know, and that's it. Have a great day.